I don't want to misquote you, but if I recall, I think you said that you cannot be sexist against men. Is that correct? And you can't be racist against white people.
Oof.
Yeah. So when we came to the mutual understanding.
Wait, you got to hear this one.
Honestly,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We came to the mutual understanding of like the definition of racism and sexism in this context. So it was power and what was the other word that you had used?
You're saying prejudice?
Well, so
Power and prejudice, yes.
that wasn't my definition, but we provided that because you were seeking the definition of sexism is prejudice plus power, or racism is prejudice plus power.
Yeah, that was the clarification that was given to your question.
Yeah.
So your question was, well, how do you see it? And Brian said, I see it as prejudice plus power. Then is that what you mean? And you said, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I don't agree with that definition, though. But
okay. Well, then I appreciate you for providing that definition, because I think it's a good one when we're talking about sexism and racism in this context. I think that people can have prejudices, like a white or a black person can have prejudice against white people. As a matter of fact, they do have prejudice against white people because it's generational and stuff like that.
So
but
here, I'll just ask the questions, and I guess you can say yes or no. Can you be racist against a white person?
No.
Can you be sexist against men?
No.
Okay. I want to go around the table on this because why not? But I will come back to that. Pixie, your answer?
Yeah, you can be racist towards white people, and you can totally be sexist towards men.
Okay. Or actually, hold on. I'm going to ask you too. Actually, I'll ask you. Go ahead.
I don't really feel like you can be racist towards white people, but I feel like you prejudice towards men. I don't really feel like you can be
sexist against men.
Yeah.
Yes, but you can't be racist against white people.
I mean, I feel like there's probably like extreme examples, but I just don't feel comfortable feeling like with that. I feel like that word holds so much weight that is harder for a white person to experience, but there's definitely probably like situations.
Okay, what about you?
I think you can.
Can you be racist against white people? Can you be sexist against men?
That's a hard question. You can be sexist towards men.
Towards men? Okay.
Yes. And
can you be racist against white people?
No.
Okay. Alexa, what about you?
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Sexist.
Nala, can you be racist against white people? Can you be sexist against men?
You cannot. I mean, yes, you can be racist towards white people. I think it goes with anyone.
Okay.
Ethnically. Sexist towards men, absolutely. Absolutely.
What about you?
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Wait, can I change my answer?
Can you change your answer? What's your new answer?
Based on the consensus of the table.
What was your original answer?
You can't be
Change your answer how?
I think you can be racist towards white people. I think obviously it really depends on what.
Sure. Now, yes. My follow-up question is, for those of you who said no to either, wouldn't it be racist and or sexist to simply state that you cannot be racist against a white person or that you cannot be sexist against men?
I think it's just a perspective. Because I don't.
Okay, if you say you can't be racist against white people, you are saying that white people do not face any sort of discrimination or prejudice due to their race. Ergo, you've made some sort of judgment call about white people, which to me would be racist.
So that type of judgment made towards white people wouldn't be one of like a bias in judging of their character. So the way that I'm envisioning racism in this example is having biases and then having those biases having biases against the character simply because of race, and then having those biases impact these groups of people on a systemic basis or level. Thinking that you can't be racist to white people, it's just It's not saying that you can't be prejudiced against white people, because I already stated that I think black people and other people of color do have a lot of prejudice against white people. I think that exists, but I don't think that, at least in America, from what I understand in America, white people are not oppressed systemically, and they do not experience systemic racism.
What about white women? I thought you said earlier, you said women were oppressed.
So
I'm a
but
little
they're not
confused.
Oppressed because of their race. They're oppressed because of their gender. So there's a
okay,
lot
I
of
see what you're
intersectional
saying. Okay.
issues, and they kind of overlap. Like a white disabled person can be oppressed because they're
So
disabled.
intersectionality.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a explanation when it comes to why you think you can't be racist against white people?
I mean, because it's kind of like, just like what she was saying, like it's systemic against other races. Like with white people, it's like people think you're corny, or like certainly I feel like this, like the type of things you're gonna face are gonna be more like in social situations versus like if you're a person of color, it goes down way deeper than just social situations. It's systemic.
Okay. So, and was it just you who thinks? I think you said you could be sexist. You can be sexist against men, correct? Or I thought it was just you. Said
I
that,
think
but
it might have been just me.
Or
I don't. Did I say I
Oh.
could be sexist towards men?
can you be sexist against men?
I mean, like, actually, yes. Now that I
Okay.
think about it, yes. Now that I think of examples, yes.
So wait,
'Cause
question.
People
Can-
say men can't get raped and shit like that, which I think is really messed up.
Wait,
Sorry.
you think men? Hold on.
When people say that, I think that's an awful thing to say. That was the thing
Wait,
in
you
my
think
head.
it's awful for people to say that? Wait, I'm a little confused.
That
Do you
men
believe,
can't get essayed and stuff
Do you
like
believe
that.
that men can't get essayed?
No, they can.
Oh, okay,
They definitely
okay.
can, and they do.
That's fine. So, I have a question. So, can a black person? They can't be racist against a white person.
Like, there's
That's
probably.
for both of you.
I
Okay.
guess it's
Could
prejudice.
could a Latino person be racist against a white person?
No.
Can an Asian person be racist against a white person?
Oh,
No?
so okay. For this conversation,
Are you
we're gonna
saying
keep it in
Asian
America.
Americans, despite being minorities, have
I feel like we're talking about
power in?
And
or-
I can only speak on in the U.S. Like,
Okay. Well, there are Asian Americans and Latino Americans.
Yeah, no, I was
and
just
Black
saying that.
Americans. But okay, can blacks be racist? Can black people be racist against Asian people?
I think it's a different type of racism, because black people do not have the power to uphold that racism against Asian people. The most it would be a bias or a colorism.
You realize how racist that is to say, right?
Totally.
Just to say black people can't do anything. Like, it's like, what? Like, I'm sorry. Is there something genetically off with black people that they like can't manage to like navigate? Like, where's this line of reasoning go? It's so racist to be like, black people cannot. I know that you're talking about like a group, but it's just like bigotry of low expectation is still racism. It's still a problem. It's not okay.
Yeah, and I understand that point. But I don't think that's what I'm trying to say, and I apologize if I'm saying it wrong, or like in a way that is not effectively communicating what I am trying to say.
I can ask.
Black people are capable of doing things, like duh. And just because they are, I mean, like.
No shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Are Latinos can Asian people be racist against black people?
I'm going to say yes, because culturally.
It's interesting that you're quicker to say that Asians can be racist against black people, but black people can't be racist against Asians. That's interesting to me.
That's because of the level of information that I have, or knowledge that I have. But I do think, I don't know if I would call it racist. From what I understand, it is more colorist. So Asian people, from what I understand, again, have cultural biases that lead them to prefer fairer skin culturally, and they have more maybe respect for fairer skin than darker skin. So if you notice, like in Asian culture, the lower income people or communities, I guess, have darker skin tones, and then the wealthier communities have fairer skin tones.
so like they sell like skin bleaching products and certain things.
Yeah, so that's more colorist. It's more based on like the actual instead of the race itself, it's just the color. Because you're like a dark Asian person is still Asian.
Just to ask you the same. Okay, just to ask you the same question. Like, can a black person be racist against a white person?
Because I feel like it's like if a white person is being racist towards a black person, it's like the reason
One's worse.
Like when she was talking about like in like how Asian people, like there's the colorism in the communities where they're skin bleaching and it's kind of seen as more attractive to be fair. Like obviously as a black person, if you see that in their culture, like you can kind of assume that same logic is going to apply onto you. So I'm not saying that justifies racism, but I'm saying I feel like the basis of like black people being, you know, maybe wanting to date within their race is because they've seen maybe people of white or Asian families having very racist parents, or, you know, fetishizing them or certain things, versus like the reason that they might be more like hesitant to do that. See, like the reason for it is like not just some random general hate. It's because of the racism that they've experienced themselves. It's like a defense thing.
Can I ask a question? Can a black person be racist towards an Asian person?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But who has the institutional power?
I feel like definitely like Asian people more.
They would have the institutional power. Which
That's what I feel
institutions?
like.
Which institutions do you think that Asians are overrepresented in and have the power and are using that power to systemically oppress black people?
I mean, I agree with you that I feel like a black person could be racist against an Asian person, but I feel like they just...
Yeah, but if the argument is whites can't be, blacks can't be racist to whites because whites have the institutional systemic power, okay? Then in this case, I say, can blacks be racist towards Asians? You say, yes. But then when I ask you who has the power, you say that people who have the systemic power in that situation are the Asians. So how come they can be racist to the Asians, but
I mean,
can't be racist to the whites
yes.
if one has the power in one scenario versus the other one?
There's probably
hang on. Just hear me out. If one has the power in one scenario, they can be racist towards them, and if another one has the power in the same exact scenario, they can't be racist. That makes no sense.
I feel like it's more of a prejudice
Hang on. I'm almost done. It's a performative contradiction. It's an actual contradiction in real time that you just showed us. What you should do immediately after seeing that is abandon that entire worldview. It makes no sense.
I mean, I feel like, I guess, the reason I guess we would say prejudice instead of racist is I feel like it's just kind of like what we said.
Here, or did you have more, Andrew? Or?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay. Here's a question. Let's say me as a white man, right? Privilege, male privilege, white privilege.
Okay, the way they
Do I
did like
have-
the stop
do I
Asian
have-
hate
do
on
I
Tinder
have-
and stuff so quickly
Wait,
when it took
what?
so long. They passed a bill for that like that when COVID happened. And like how long did it take for them to do that? Like, or I don't think they've even done that for black people. Like that's kind of an example for them having more systemic power. Like they passed this like a stop Asian hate bill very quickly.
I'm not familiar with the. I heard about the bill, but if I went
Like
to China, would in that scenario can a Chinese person be racist against me?
Saint_easy donated $200. Black people can be racist against white people, but being racist isn't beneficial in most industries and in a capitalist society as a whole. Racism isn't exactly a powerful trait. Maybe in entertainment.
It's not even that powerful there.
So if I went to China, would in that scenario could the Chinese people be racist against me?
If there have been
Nick, can you hide that?
You can reach higher on the wall, so no.
honestly,
question still
I'm not
stands.
100% sure because, like I said, I really only have a somewhat of an understanding about racism in America, and honestly, that's coming from a
Well,
white
hold on.
woman.
But so in China, all positions, I would assume all positions in the government are occupied by people who are Chinese. I don't suspect there are any white people, for example, in the U.S., there's some Asian Americans in Congress. There's
any, but let's just say the vast majority. Vast majority.
What city you go to?
Wait.
So that has, I think it has more to do with nationality. So like, there's all Chinese people in the Chinese government because it's China. Like, does that? and like we only have Americans.
Perhaps this is
or mostly
a
only
poor
have-
argument on my
So
end.
does
but-
wait. So do Chinese people or Asian people as a race only exist in the United States? If they exist in the United States, that's now when they're considered a race, or are they considered a race also?
No.
Well, then if they're considered a race there too, and you're still considered a race in China too,
Yes.
then if the Chinese have all the institutional power and they are racially profiling or doing any number, then that would be racist, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So, okay, if I went to China, can...
And became a resident in China and like had a life. In
no,
China.
because...
If you went to
Wait, so you-
China.
So let's say there. Wait, so I have to be you need to be
right
a
through the
citizen.
turnstile. You went right through the turnstile, and the second you
Tokyo
did,
Drift.
they were like, "Hey, round eye" or something like that, and you were like, "What?" And something overtly crazy like that, right? That would that be considered from racism towards you?
So you're saying white people can't be racist towards like illegal immigrants, for example?
No, I just think it's different.
Like in the U.S., I'm saying, like a Mexican illegal immigrant, you couldn't be racist towards them because they're not a citizen of.
No, you can't. I think.
Okay,
I think.
but
it's
so
just
if I
different.
go to China, I'm a white man.
Mm-hmm.
Could I experience racism in China from, I assume, Chinese people?
I'm gonna give you an
If there's
example.
social
Wait, let her
structures
answer.
in place,
Huh?
if there's social structures in place that perpetuate that, then yes.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I was gonna say.
What about you? Do you think?
I think you could, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know too much about what it is like out there, but I definitely believe that they could, yeah, if you're a minority and over there.
What about if I went to Kenya? If I went to Kenya,
Okay, so
Country in
I think
Africa,
you would. The answer would be yes if
If
you
I went to
have like
Kenya.
a work visa there, right? And you're applying to jobs, and you're not, or you're trying to work there, and you're getting continuously rejected from jobs or mistreated in jobs simply because you're white. Then yes, that would be an
or what
experience.
if I'm just a tourist?
No, let's say
Yeah, he's
okay,
just
'cause
visiting.
in the Middle East, like
Just
okay,
chilling.
let's
Just
say
chilling.
when
Just
me and my friends who are like my friends who are white come, right? We go out to the club, and there's a bunch of Arab people there or whatever, right? And a white guy starts smoking hookah, and the Arab guys start like just chatting at him like, oh well. They're being like they're like, you're white, you
Like
can't
making fun
smoke
of
hookah,
him,
you're
or- okay,
blah
okay.
blah blah, like saying that's not because he's trying to work there or blah blah blah. It's literally just because
He's there.
he's there. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like I think that's what like-
Okay. So I think that it definitely comes with the definition that we've been, or that we kind of talked about, brushed up upon. The racism that I'm mostly referring to and trying to place emphasis on is systemic and is coming from a place of power, or a place of power and majority.
Well, I mean, it doesn't need to be a majority for it to be power, though.
Not necessarily. I'm just saying.
Okay, so then-
power
Well, if
and
one person is racist, if one person of a group is racist, that means like, what is that what you're trying to say? Like, if only one person, that doesn't mean the whole group is racist.
no, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay, you're trying to say. I think she's trying to say that she's trying to systemic.
systemic.
Oh my God,
and-
racism. But we're talking about can a group be racist towards another group? That's literally the question. Can other races be racist towards a white person? Period. Not in any sort of situation, just in general. In general, if you were to go, let's say you want to go to Tokyo, all right, and you were walking around, could they be racist towards you?
Saint_easy donated $200. Okay, Brian, we get it. Enjoy your white male privilege. Well deserved hard.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, St. Reezy. Here we got another
Wait,
chat.
so
here.
was that a yes
Oh.
or a no?
That was a yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll move on. Hold on. We got a couple more things, guys. I'm going to just pull up this chat here while it's kind of relevant. Today's the only time so many 1%ers have claimed to be oppressed. I'm 32 in biotech, make six figures without a degree, been homeless and beat cancer.
Good for you.
Wow, dude.
Damn.
You're a fucking
God.
legend.
Joshua. Sorry.
Thank you, Joshua. He's also bi, can be small spoon. Hello. But lead in bed. Celebrated 1-year anniversary with woman in STEM. Blonde is indoctrinated and dumb.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger. That's his words. I
I'm not
disavow.
shooting anybody.
Disavow.
I'm not
Disavow.
shooting anybody.
I
Disavow.
think a lot of
Thank you,
words
Josh.
are
Thank
coming.
you.
I think a lot of what she's trying to say is getting lost, and sometimes when you're on the spot, some things
Wait.
come out wrong.